Let's start with the things that subtly influence us and work our way toward the ones that completely own us. Number 7, time. Time is the most ordinary thing humans think they understand, and it is also the first thing that quietly controls everything we do. Time feels natural, inevitable, like a river that flows whether we want it to or not. Seconds turn into minutes, minutes turn into hours, hours become days, and we rarely stop to question whether time is actually passing or whether we are simply being pulled along by it. But the terrifying part is not that time moves forward. The terrifying part is that we built our entire civilization around obeying it. And in doing so, we have become enslaved to something we created ourselves. Alarms decide when you wake up. Clocks decide when you must eat, when you must work, when you must rest. Schedules dictate when you see your family, when you pursue your passions, when you can finally stop. Deadlines create panic before they even arrive. You feel rushed not because you are behind, but because the system tells you that you should feel rushed. Let's say you try to ignore time for just one day. No alarms, no schedules, no clocks watching your every move. What happens? Very quickly, anxiety sets in. You feel late even though you have no appointments. You feel unproductive even though you have been resting and present. That is because time is no longer just a measurement anymore. It has become a system, an invisible judge that tells you when you are valuable and when you are wasting your life. You do not feel owned by time because everyone else is owned by it too. Ownership becomes invisible when it is universal. Number 6, money. Money began as a simple tool for trade, a way to exchange value without having to barter. That was thousands of years ago. Today, money has quietly evolved into something far more sinister, a force that dictates nearly every major decision you will ever make in your life. Money does not just buy things. Money controls access to safety, comfort, freedom, healthcare, quality education, and even time itself. The amount of money you have determines where you can live, what you can learn, who you can marry, and how long you will live. Let's imagine trying to live without money. What happens? Instantly, options disappear. You do not choose where to live. The price of rent decides for you. You do not choose what to learn. The cost of education decides for you. You do not choose how to spend your days freely. The need for money forces you to spend them working. Even worse, money introduces comparison. Success becomes visible. Failure becomes personal and shameful. You do not feel poor just because you lack resources. You feel poor because someone else has more. Someone else has better. Someone else is winning while you are stuck. Debt locks you into future labor. You owe your future self to your past purchases. Savings promise future freedom, but that future never quite arrives because prices rise and desires grow. You spend most of your life trading time for money, then trading money to try to reclaim the time you already lost. The system does not need to threaten you directly. It rewards obedience with comfort and punishes hesitation with scarcity. You feel free because you can make choices, but every choice costs money. You're not trapped by force, you're trapped by necessity. And necessity, once installed, becomes invisible. You stop fighting it, you accept it, you defend it. You convince yourself that this is how the world has to work. Number 5, smartphones. A smartphone is a device so familiar that it feels like an extension of your own body, like a prosthetic limb made of glass and silicon that you cannot imagine removing. At first, a smartphone looked like pure convenience. A phone, a map, a camera, a computer, an entertainment system, all in your pocket. That was the promise. That is still the promise. But let's see what actually happens when it is gone. Imagine you wake up one morning and your phone is simply not there. No notifications, no instant answers to every question, no constant connection to every person you know. Within minutes, something uncomfortable creeps in. Your attention feels scattered and untethered. Silence feels loud and oppressive. Boredom becomes unbearable. That feeling is not just nostalgia for your device. That is your brain reacting to withdrawal from constant stimulation. That is the neurological reality of having your brain rewired by a machine. The smartphone did not just change how you communicate with other people. It fundamentally rewired how you think. Your memory became external, stored in the cloud rather than in your mind. Your ability to focus became fragmented, interrupted every few minutes by notifications and alerts. Your presence in physical spaces became optional because your attention is always partially somewhere else, on your screen. Now imagine picking the phone back up. Your entire posture changes. Your eyes lock in immediately. The world around you fades into background noise. Every vibration promises relevance. Every notification offers validation and connection. You do not check your phone because you genuinely need to. You check it because your brain has been systematically trained to crave the stimulus. The device does not control you through force or threat. It controls you through habit, through the rewiring of your dopamine system, through the creation of a psychological dependency. You are addicted, but the addiction feels like freedom because you chose to pick up the device in the first place. Number 4, social media. Social media platforms are the places where smartphones truly learned how to own and harvest human attention at industrial scale. At first, these platforms feel social and safe. Familiar faces from your past, funny videos from people you will never meet, endless entertainment that never runs out. Validation through likes and comments. A sense of connection and belonging. But behind the interface, something very different is happening. Something calculated, something designed. Let's simulate what happens during a casual scroll through your feed. You open the application, telling yourself you'll spend just 5 minutes. Instantly, the algorithm recognizes you. The content adapts in real time. Louder emotions, stronger opinions, faster rewards, controversy over nuance. The platform does not show you reality. It shows you what keeps you scrolling. Content that triggers anger, jealousy, or lust gets pushed to the top. Content that makes you think or question gets buried. Over time, your sense of what is normal shifts fundamentally. Outrage feels constant and everywhere. Comparison with others feels unavoidable and constant. Silence and solitude feel like failure and rejection. You do not just consume content on these platforms. You measure yourself against it constantly. Likes become your validation. Views become your worth. Followers become your identity. And without realizing it, your mood, your beliefs, and your sense of who you are begin syncing with a feed that you don't control and cannot fully understand. You think you are watching the platform, scrolling through content of your choice. The truth is far more sinister. The platform is studying you. Every pause, every rewatch, every screenshot, every share. The platform knows you better than you know yourself. It knows what makes you angry, what makes you sad, what makes you feel inadequate. And it uses that knowledge to keep you coming back. Number 3, work systems. Inside most modern workplaces exist systems designed to make work more efficient. Schedules, metrics, productivity tools, surveillance software, performance tracking, output measurement. These systems look like management tools. In reality, they are control mechanisms disguised as optimization. Let's step inside a normal workday and see what happens. The clock starts. Software begins tracking your activity in real time. Your output becomes data. Your breaks feel guilty. Your rest feels unproductive. Even when work officially ends, your mind doesn't. You measure your worth in tasks completed and hours logged. You think about unfinished projects. You worry about tomorrow's deadlines. Eventually, you stop needing a boss standing over you. You become your own supervisor, your own taskmaster, your own enemy. The system does not demand more from you. You demand more from yourself. Burnout becomes normal. Exhaustion becomes expected. Taking time off feels irresponsible. Resting feels like laziness. And the scariest part about these systems? They work perfectly. Productivity rises. Efficiency increases. The machine runs smoothly. But something essential fades away. Humanity fades away. Joy fades away. The sense that work should serve life rather than life serving work disappears completely. You're not forced to work yourself to exhaustion. You're optimized into it. The system makes you believe that your worth comes from what you produce. And once you believe that, you will work yourself to death trying to prove your value. Number 2, artificial intelligence. Not the science fiction kind with consciousness and intentions. The quiet kind. The kind that recommends what you should watch. The kind that predicts what you might buy. The kind that decides what information you deserve to see. Artificial intelligence does not feel threatening because it does not scream demands. It suggests gently. It optimizes quietly. It learns constantly. Let's say you interact with AI systems every single day. which you almost certainly do. Search engines powered by AI, social media feeds generated by AI, virtual assistants answering your questions, spam filters powered by AI, shopping recommendations from AI. Slowly, without noticing, decisions become easier, faster, more accurate. But something subtle and dangerous changes inside you. You stop questioning the outcomes. You stop asking why the system recommended something. You start to trust results automatically. Over time, AI does not just assist your decisions, it actively shapes them. What you read, what you buy, what you believe is possible, what you think you want. You are not replaced by artificial intelligence, you are guided by it, subtly and constantly. And the more accurate and helpful it becomes, the less you notice its influence. You feel like the AI is serving you, but you are slowly becoming a character in a story written by algorithms. Intelligence outsourced to machines feels harmless and helpful in the moment, until you realize that you have forgotten how to think without it. Until you notice that you cannot make decisions without checking what the algorithm recommends first. Number 1. Algorithms, the invisible rulers behind everything mentioned above. Algorithms do not have faces. They do not have intentions or desires. They have only objectives, and those objectives are ruthlessly simple. Maximize engagement, maximize efficiency, maximize predictability, maximize profit. Every single action you take online feeds algorithms. Every pause while scrolling, every click, every like, every screenshot, every moment you hesitate before moving on, all of it becomes data. All of it is analyzed. Over time, patterns form. Your behavior becomes predictable. Your preferences become clear. Your vulnerabilities become visible. And once your behavior is predictable, it becomes controllable. Algorithms do not tell you directly what to do. They quietly limit what you see. Options disappear. Perspectives narrow. Reality becomes personalized, fractured into billions of different versions depending on who is looking. You believe you are making free choices, unaware that you are choosing from a carefully filtered list that was pre-selected for you before you even knew you wanted to choose. This is not domination by conscious machines or evil corporations plotting against you. This is control by design, built by humans, perfected by data, and obeyed by billions every single day, without resistance or awareness. The algorithm is the ultimate creation that controls humans because it is so invisible, so helpful, so integrated into every part of modern life that we cannot imagine existence without it. And that is exactly how total control works. Not through force, through necessity.